there's been a few picks, like the second they happened, I'm like, oh, that's great. And this is one of them, right? Like, I think Tyler Linderbaum, he's in an interesting spot where, like, literally everyone who has criticisms of him, it has nothing to do with how he plays football or, like, off the field concerns either. Like, that's not his issue whatsoever. He has two issues, and we'll get into them right away, and then we'll get into the film and just what I like about him so much. His two issues: one, he plays center, and not much you can do about that. The position isn't as important as other positions, at least that's how the NFL views it. Although, with a run-heavy offense and, this Lamar Jackson run offense where you need kind of athletic linemen, it becomes a lot more important. So that's number one. Number two is just that he's a little bit undersized. Like, he could gain 10 pounds, but in this offense, I actually don't think that's a real issue. I think that it'll be fine because, again, he'll have to move so much. So Linderbaum is someone who I believe I had him as like a top 10 or at least fringe top 10 prospect in general, although I understood why he was going to fall just due to positional value. But I think that his actual like value itself as just a player, he is an elite player, and let's just jump into the film and show you what I mean. So let's start off with this play. What's going to happen here is this is a great example of kind of what he does well and also what will translate to the NFL level, is being able to pull off these double teams and still get up to the second level to block the guy at the next level, so block the linebacker. The way this play works, so Linderbaum is the center, of course, on this play. So what you want to do is you basically help out your guard. That's the way to think about it. You move the interior defensive lineman over to where the guard can now push him closer to the left side of the screen. You then get up to the second level and still block a linebacker. That's what you want to accomplish here. As you see, that's exactly what he does. Does a great job of pushing 94 up, but still gets up to the next level to block 4 out of the way. And that's quick, too. I mean, that's quicker than you expect it to happen, right? I mean, he can get there in a hurry. And as you see, he also pulls off the end of this block very well on top of it. So just a very good play all around by Linderbaum on that one. And these are the plays that he does consistently. This is not a highlight reel level play from him. This is a consistent play from him. I think something like this is a great example of just why I like him so much. Is I do think that having a good pass blocking center can matter. I think that having a guy who can block one-on-one matters, and he is someone who can do that. Because listen, when someone's lined up as a nose tackle, which we do have some teams that do, what do you do in this scenario? For some teams, it's like, okay, we have to help out our center. But for Iowa, they didn't think that way because they had Linderbaum. Watch how he's just going to hold his own. So first he, grabs onto, you see him have kind of that shoulder pad that of 94s right there to where he can grab on, which that alone is very good. He also has his right arm kind of on the pec area for 94. So that's all, how the end of this works. And then watch how he's able to just hold on. I mean, look, this is just him blocking a guy one-on-one, and that's tough for a center to do because, again, it's hard to get the hand placement you want when you're starting off with your hands low because you have to snap a football, but he can still get the hand placement he wants very consistently. Going over here, back to getting up to the second level, this is what he can do well, and on this play, it's going to be a draw play, so that's how it works. And watch, as you see, he is going to just eventually get to that second level and be able to block that player out of the way. I mean, just he gets to the level he needs to well and finishes off his blocks well. At the end of the day, what do I look for when evaluating offensive line play? It's, are you consistently doing your job? And he did his job all the time, no matter how tough of a task was asked of him. Again, something like this, it's going to be a one-on-one block against a nose tackle. These are not easy blocks for a center to make. As you see, he does a great job with that first step. So when the, right off the bat, doing his job. Yes, now he has help because the guard to his left was not blocking anybody. But that's, again, understanding where your help is. That's understanding where you have help. And, it's not necessarily relying on the help, but it's just knowing what you should do. Now, here's the issue. His right guard now needs help, right? Because clearly there's some leverage there to where that defensive lineman could potentially rush in and get to the quarterback. However, watch Linderbaum then go back there and knock that guy out of the way. So he's, helping out both of his guards. Typically, it's a guard helping out a center. Well, I mean, I guess you could argue the left guard helped out him there a little bit, but then he helped out the right guard. So I guess really what that play shows is, how much of a team sport offensive line play can be at times and defensive line play. But also, B, he's aware. He knows where his help is and he knows where he might have to help on specific plays. So for a center, being a smart center is very valuable. And finally, something like this. Just again, one last classic example of him getting up to the second level. This is going to be tough though, because again, there's someone lined up on him. So he has to avoid that guy and get up to the second level to block the linebacker. However, as you see, that's exactly what he does. He's able to make that block. That's kind of why I'm such a big fan of him, is he just wins. That's really what it comes down to. What I look for are wins. Are you winning consistently? And he is winning consistently. He has impressive wins and he has consistent wins. Those are the two things you want in a player. So I don't care that he's 10 pounds lighter than maybe you would like. The tape is so good. If you're a good football player, I want you on my football team. So I guess one interesting factor in all of this as well is Lamar Jackson just tweeted out WTF. So that's kind of cryptic. I don't know exactly what he means by that. Is he like, WTF, we just got a great offensive lineman, maybe? Or is he just, maybe he just found out about Hollywood Brown getting traded and is sad about that? I don't know. But that's an interesting factor, little wrinkle in there as well. But again, back to Linderbaum. I just think that, again, assuming they're going to do this same offense, which I don't see why we wouldn't assume that, they could use a guy who can move to that next level and play very well. And again, moving to the next level is one of his strengths, and that's a key thing that you have to be good at in this Ravens run-heavy offense. So I just think that alone makes total sense. And I also feel like this is a position of need. Like, they could use a center here as well. So it's something that I didn't really think about too much because 14 felt like a little bit too high for a team to take a center. And then, in the second round, I felt like Linderbaum would have been gone. But this is why trades make sense, because he's someone who right around this value is a great value pick that's really going to help them. So trade up, get the player you want. This is when you should trade up, are situations like this. The one thing I'm wondering a little bit is, because I say trade up, but it wasn't really a trade up. They traded a player. They got rid of Marquise Brown. Is the strategy here with maybe a later pick, do you go out and do you get a wide receiver? Because I still feel like they could use wide receiver help. Brown is gone. Rashad Bateman I find interesting, but he can't carry the whole team, and he was hurt last year, so we didn't even get to see what he can do at with his full potential. And what is Devin Duvernay their number 2 guy? So they need some help in that department, but as a whole, very interesting pick. That's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you, and of course, as always, thanks for watching.